Creamy coconut dessert for Christmas. Very simple and delicious. Let's add 800 milliliters of milk and 120 grams of cornstarch. Now, mix it very well. Next, add 200 milliliters of coconut milk, 395 grams of condensed milk, 200 grams of heavy cream, and 70 grams of shredded coconut. Then, turn on the stove to medium heat and stir well until the mixture starts to thicken. Transfer the entire mixture to a mold previously greased with oil. Refrigerate for 3 hours. In a pan, add 200 grams of sugar to make a caramel. Add 200 milliliters of water and stir well until completely incorporated. Let it cool, then pour all the syrup over the dessert. This dessert is very delicious, and you'll love making it at home. To finish, add a bit of shredded coconut on top, and it's ready to serve. Thank you for watching until the end, and see you next time. Make pineapple cake like this, and you'll never want to make it any other way. It's super easy, and you'll amaze everyone. In a pan, add 275 grams of sugar and let it melt. Then gradually add 110 milliliters of water. After that, transfer all the melted sugar to a cake pan. For the second part of the recipe, add 3 eggs to a bowl and start mixing. At this point, you can add 110 milliliters of oil and 275 grams of sugar. Let me know at the end of the video if you've ever made a recipe like this before. We will also add 200 milliliters of coconut milk and 205 grams of sifted wheat flour. Tell me if you already knew this recipe or if you're going to make it at home. Finally, we'll add a tablespoon of baking powder and keep mixing. Now, let's place some pineapple slices in the pan with the melted sugar and finish by adding the cake batter. Bake it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 55 minutes. And our recipe is ready. Thank you so much for watching until the end. See you next time. Easy and quick Christmas dessert to make your dinner perfect. In a bowl, add 50 grams of strawberry-flavored gelatin powder. Pour in 300 milliliters of hot water, stir well until dissolved, and then add 300 milliliters of cold water and mix again. Transfer this mixture to a container, distribute 260 grams of strawberries, and refrigerate until firm. Now, add 395 grams of condensed milk, 300 milliliters of heavy cream, and 120 grams of powdered milk to a blender, and blend everything very well. Next, add 18 grams of already hydrated unflavored gelatin and blend again. Remove the strawberry gelatin from the fridge and pour the second layer on top, then return everything to the fridge for 3 hours. For an irresistible final touch, sprinkle sifted powdered milk on top. Finally, for a touch of elegance, I'll add a bright red strawberry on top. This dessert will shine on your Christmas table. What do you think of this recipe? On a scale from 0 to 10, what score does it deserve? Share your favorite recipe in the comments. We'd love to know the secrets and tips you use to make your desserts even more special. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas filled with love and flavor. See you in the next video. This dessert melts in your mouth and only has 3 ingredients. Let's start by adding 200 grams of cornstarch, a tablespoon of butter, and 190 grams of condensed milk slowly into a bowl, and we'll mix everything very well. Don't forget to tell me which city or country you're watching from so I can send you a shout out in the next video. The final result is a smooth, light, and extremely crunchy dessert with a perfect balance of ingredients that will please all palates. Now just cut into equally sized squares with the help of a knife, just like I'm doing. Do this carefully to ensure all parts of the recipe are even. After that, we'll shape the cookies as I'll show you. Now let's place all the cookies into a pre-greased baking tray with oil, and I'll lightly press the cookies with the tip of a fork. This will give them a chance to become extra crunchy when baking. We need to bake them in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius 392 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. And our recipe is ready. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and see you next time. A fluffy and easy to make cake just like Grandma's. It will be impossible to refuse a slice. I'm going to put 3 eggs and 200 grams of sugar in a bowl. Now just mix until the sugar is completely dissolved. After mixing, we'll add 120 milliliters of oil. Now I'll add 240 milliliters of milk and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now we'll mix. When it looks like this, I'll add 320 grams of all-purpose flour. I'll sift it completely to ensure the cake batter has no lumps. To finish, I'll add a tablespoon of baking powder and mix it one more time. Now just pour the mixture into a buttered and floured pan. Now, place it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for approximately 45 minutes. And our recipe is ready. In addition to having few ingredients, this recipe is super easy to make and is very delicious. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. You'll be impressed by the taste and ease of making this coconut pudding. Let's start this amazing recipe by adding 500 milliliters of milk, 395 grams of condensed milk, 200 milliliters of coconut milk, and 200 grams of heavy cream into a blender, and we need to mix it all very well. Share this recipe with friends and family and rate it from 0 to 10 so I know your opinion. Once it's mixed, just add 24 grams of previously hydrated unflavored gelatin. Let it blend for a bit longer. After turning off the blender, add 100 grams of grated coconut and mix well. Next, pour the mixture into a mold previously greased with oil. Now, let's chill it in the fridge for approximately 4 hours. To finish the recipe, I'll add a bit of grated coconut on top. The final result is a light and smooth dessert with a perfect balance of ingredients. Thank you so much for watching until the end. See you next time. Creamy dessert with green grapes. Quick and delicious. Let's start by adding 790 grams of condensed milk, 400 grams of heavy cream, and 130 grams of powdered milk. Mix everything very well until all ingredients are fully combined. Add 500 grams of green grapes into a container and pour the cream over them. Set aside, and let's prepare the topping. Place 200 grams of chopped chocolate and 200 grams of hot heavy cream. Mix very well until the chocolate is completely melted and incorporated into the cream. Now, just pour the ganache over the dessert we already assembled. Spread carefully to cover the entire surface. Place the dessert in the fridge for 2 hours. And voila, our dessert is ready. Make this recipe at home and let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching until the end, and see you in the next recipe. Homemade coconut candy so delicious it will become a tradition in your kitchen. Let's add 240 milliliters of water and 200 grams of sugar to a pan, and we need to stir well until the sugar completely dissolves. Next, we'll add 300 grams of grated coconut. The coconut will give our recipe that wonderful tropical flavor and an incredible texture. Keep stirring gently, ensuring the coconut is evenly distributed throughout the mixture. When it looks like this, we'll add 395 grams of condensed milk. And don't forget to let me know which city or country you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out in the next video. After mixing everything very well, we'll take portions of the mixture and place them on a butter-greased tray. We need to let it rest until it hardens. And our homemade coconut candy is ready. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and see you in the next recipe. Christmas with a special flavor? This dessert is the perfect choice. In a saucepan, add 790 grams of condensed milk and 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, and mix well. Then, add 200 grams of heavy cream, 200 milliliters of coconut milk, 500 milliliters of milk, and 100 grams of shredded coconut. Once the desired consistency is reached, transfer the cream to a container and let it cool before moving on to the next step. In a bowl, place 200 grams of milk chocolate and 200 grams of hot heavy cream. Stir until the chocolate is completely melted. With the cream already cooled, spread the ganache on top, covering the entire surface, and refrigerate the dessert for 3 hours. To give it that final touch and make it even more surprising, Drizzle a bit of condensed milk on top and add some shredded coconut as well. And that's it. Your Christmas dessert is ready to be served, making your holiday even sweeter and more special. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next recipe. This lemon cake is so delicious and fluffy that it impresses everyone. Let's start by adding 3 eggs, 200 grams of sugar, and 110 milliliters of oil. I will mix all the ingredients very well. Next, I'll add 200 milliliters of milk, a handful of lemon zest, and 60 milliliters of lemon juice. And we'll mix again. After that, I'll add 320 grams of all-purpose flour. We'll sift it very well to make the cake batter lighter. Once it looks like this, I'll add a tablespoon of baking powder and mix once more. Now we'll transfer the entire cake batter to a pan previously greased with butter and flour. Then just bake it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 45 minutes. For the cake topping, we'll mix 395 grams of sweetened condensed milk and the juice of 1 lemon. Now just pour the lemon topping over the cake. This lemon cake is not only very tasty and super easy to make, but it also requires few ingredients and has an amazing result. I'll also add more lemon zest on top. Let me know if you knew such an amazing recipe, and also tell me if you'll make it at your place. The cake batter turns out super moist and fluffy when made this way. Thanks for watching until the end. See you next time.